The year is 2026, and we are living in the age of the spineless man. It is an era where loyalty is traded for a digital advantage, where words are as cheap as the electricity that powers the screens, and where honor is treated like a dusty museum exhibit from a forgotten century. But Andrew here, and today we are reopening the private records of the man who refused to bend his knees to any master. We are looking at the shield of honor, the internal code that John Wayne used to navigate the treacherous waters of power, fame, and betrayal. You see, the Duke understood something that the modern man has tragically forgotten. Your reputation can be attacked by the machine, but your honor can only be surrendered by you. In this 56th chapter, we are decoding the rules of engagement for the year 2026. While the masses are backstabbing each other for a momentary gain in the social credit hierarchy, the sovereign man is building his life on the bedrock of absolute reliability. This isn't just about being a good person. It's about tactical integrity. It's about being so solid in your principles that the system finds you impossible to subvert. The Duke's secret rulebook wasn't written for the faint of heart. It was written for the men who intend to be the pillars of the new world that rises from the ashes of the old. Doctor, record this opening frequency. In a world of clones and traitors, the man of honor is the only true revolutionary left standing. Analyze the psychological battlefield of 2026. Every day, you are encouraged to be fluid, to be flexible with your morals, and to betray your inner circle for the sake of progress. This is the decoupling of character. But John Wayne's life was a masterclass in structural loyalty. He knew that if you don't stand for your own people, you will eventually fall for anything the grid feeds you. He protected the weak on his sets, he stood by his friends when they were blacklisted, and he never, not once, traded his soul for a better deal. He understood that sovereignty begins with the sanctity of the word. In 2026, a man's word is usually worth nothing because it is backed by nothing. But the Alamo frequency requires your word to be backed by your entire existence. When the Duke gave his word, it was a binding protocol that no amount of money or pressure could break. This is the internal shield we are building today. If they can't break your word, they can't break your spirit. And if they can't break your spirit, they can't own your life. It's time to stop being a victim of the era's moral decay and start being the architect of your own unshakable code. The frontier is calling for men who can be trusted in the dark. In the second layer of the Duke's code, we find his absolute refusal to participate in the culture of betrayal. He watched as Hollywood became a nest of informants and cowards. In 2026, the algorithm itself is designed to turn brother against brother. We are encouraged to monitor, report, and judge each other based on shifting digital parameters. But the shield of honor is an analog shield in a digital war. John Wayne understood that privacy and loyalty are the two sides of the same sovereign coin. He kept his circles small and his loyalties long. He knew that the system gains its power by breaking the bonds between men. If they can make you distrust your neighbor, they have already conquered you. In 2026, the most radical act of defiance you can commit is to be irrationally loyal to your family and your brothers. The Duke's rule was simple: never speak ill of a brother in front of the enemy. He knew that the enemy wasn't just a person, it was any force that sought to dissolve the human fabric. By studying his tactical approach to friendship and professional alliances, we see the blueprint for the sovereign network. We aren't looking for a mass movement. We are looking for a few good men who are willing to hold the line together when the grid goes dark and the masks come off. Character is the glue that holds the fortress together. Doctor, look at the historical data. Every empire that fell first from the inside through the rod of betrayal. We are hardening the core today. There is a specific frequency in the archives of 1972 where John Wayne was asked about the secret to his longevity in a town built on shifting sands. His answer wasn't about talent or luck. It was about the absolute weight of the word. In the year 2026, we have entered the era of the hollow promise. We sign digital contracts we don't read, we give our word through emojis, and we break our commitments with a simple block or delete. But the Duke knew that a man who cannot be trusted with his word is a man who has no physical gravity. He is a ghost, drifting through a world of other ghosts. This shield of honor requires you to treat your spoken word as a lethal commitment. In 2026, while the masses are navigating life through conditional truths and relative morality, the sovereign man stands on the objective bedrock. The Duke once said that he didn't care if a man was a king or a beggar, as long as he looked you in the eye and did what he said he would do. This is the frontier standard. It is a tactical advantage in a world of liars. When you become the man whose yes is a mountain and whose no is an iron wall, you become a fixed point in the chaos. The machine cannot calculate a man who doesn't flip-flop for a digital reward. Doctor, observe the modern landscape. Everyone is negotiating their principles for a bit of temporary comfort. But the man of honor doesn't negotiate with the grid. He sets the terms, he keeps his word, and he accepts the consequences without a single word of complaint. That is the definition of rugged authority. It is the only thing that commands respect when the digital systems of power begin to crumble and the lights go out. Think about this psychological armor this provides you in 2026. When the system tries to cancel you or deplatform your existence, they are attacking your digital avatar. But if your internal honor is intact, their weapons have no target. John Wayne was attacked by the media, by the politicians, and by the elite social circles of his time, but he remained untouchable. Why? Because he didn't derive his value from their approval. He derived it from his own internal audit. He knew that if he could look at himself in the mirror at the end of the day and know that he hadn't betrayed his code, then the rest of the world could burn. In 2026, the most dangerous man to the status quo is the man who doesn't need the system to tell him he is good. He knows he is good because he has done the hard, dirty work of maintaining his integrity in the face of total opposition. This is the shield of honor in action. It's not a badge you wear. It's a vibration you carry. It's the reason people either follow you or fear you. It is the primal omen of a leader. It's time to stop looking for a leader and start becoming the man that others can rely on when the storm finally breaks the perimeter. Analyze the protector frequency that John Wayne projected throughout his entire career and his private life. Rackapler, our competitors, often talk about the nice things he did, but they miss the tactical necessity of it. The Duke understood that the strength of a fortress is measured by how it treats its weakest link. In 2026, the global system is a predatory machine. It is designed to exploit the vulnerable, to drain the resources of the unsuspecting, and to discard the unproductive. But the Shield of Honor mandates a protector's protocol. John Wayne didn't just stand up for himself. He stood up for the little man on the set who couldn't defend himself against a tyrannical director or a predatory executive. He knew that real power is not used to dominate. It is used to insulate. In the year 2026, being a sovereign individual means creating a zone of safety for those under your care. If your wealth and your grit only serve your own comfort, you are just a well-fed slave. But if you use your frontier reserve and your hardened character to shield your family, your community, and the truth itself, you are a sovereign commander. The Duke's secret rulebook was clear. You never punch down, you only punch up at the tyrants. This is the chivalry of the dust. It is a code that is thousands of years old, and it is the only thing that can stabilize a crumbling society. When the masses see a man who cannot be bought and who will fight for what is right without a camera watching, they find their true north. Doctor, note this. In 2026, authentic heroism is the most scarce and therefore the most valuable resource on the planet. We are mining that resource today in the heart of the 56th archive. As we close the 56th chapter of the Edge archives, I want you to conduct an internal tactical audit. Look at the shield of honor you are currently carrying. Is it made of the thin plastic of modern compliance, or is it forged in the fire of absolute integrity? In the year 2026, the stakes have gone beyond mere money or survival. We are in a war for the human essence. The machine wants to strip you of your honor because a man without honor is a man who can be easily managed, easily moved, and easily deleted. But the Duke's legacy is a reminder that honor is eternal. It is the only thing that survives the grave and the only thing that echoes in the halls of history. John Wayne didn't care about being modern or relevant. He cared about being right. He knew that trends are temporary, but truth is a constant frequency. It's time to stop trying to fit into a world that is designed to destroy you. It's time to start standing out as a beacon of reliability. Build your life so that when people hear your name, they don't think of a profile picture or a social score. They think of an unbreakable word. This is Andrew, signing off from the deep vaults of the 56th chapter. The code is now in your blood. The shield is now in your hands. The frequency of honor has been restored to the frontier. Now, go out there and live a life that would make the Duke nod in silent, grim approval. Stay heavy, stay loyal, stay sovereign in an age of traitors. We will see you on the next ridge, where the men of honor gather to rebuild the world. Godspeed, partner. The mission, our sacred mission, continues through the steel in your soul. Andrew out.